Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined by Jim Campbell, the driver of the DePinto International Logistics Funny Car for Jim Dunn Racing. By the way, just a disclaimer, no relation, but that is the same name as my father, which is funny. And also the executive of Chevrolet, which is also
exactly. So Jim Campbell seems to be a common name.
It is. How's it going, Jim?
It's going great, Casey. Thank you for having me back on your show. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and excited about what's going to come out of this year.
Okay, so I know the season. We're in the third race of the season so far, Jim. How do you think it's been going for your team?
Well, we struggled a little bit for a while, and we got some brilliant minds and stuff, and they're really working through all the issues. We switched clutches and fuel systems and just everything, and it takes a couple of runs to get the bugs out of it. We opened up in Vegas with an 09, so that was a good run, and made 2 or 3 good runs in Vegas. Again, just trying to get all these little 100 things got to go right in a funny car, and only one thing's got to go wrong, and the run is no good. So we're really working hard at to be a good and consistent competitive race car.
Yeah. So I know for the past few years you've driven for the legend Jim Dunn. What has that been like? And I know he's taught you a lot about driving in a funny car. Now going into, I think it's your 4th year with him. What's it been like?
This is my 5th year with him. And it's always a pleasure to race for a legend. Jim has so much wisdom and so much knowledge. He's got more funny car knowledge than I do in my pinky. And so it's nice to pick his head, hear about the old stuff. Growing up loving drag racing, I used to watch Jim Dunn, and we always kind of laugh around. It's when we're sitting in the ready box getting ready to start the car, and I kind of look up and I'm strapped in. I'm thinking, how cool is it that I get to drive for the legend Jim Dunn? And just recently I had my girlfriend, we watched Funny Car Summer. So I get to watch when Jim was young and feisty, and now he's old and feisty. So he just had his 87th birthday, and that's always like I said, that's always really cool for me to drive for a legend.
So I know you live in California. You were a firefighter before this.
I did paramedics and search and rescue. Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
It was great. I mean, I love helping people, so it's just no brainer for me. It's in your blood.
What are you doing right now?
Funny car driver, so I guess I love adrenaline.
So what are you doing right now?
Well, right now I'm just got home. I own my own company. It's California Safety and Fire Specialists, and we do a lot of training. So I teach a lot of OSHA training, a lot of first responder training, CPR, things like that, emergency preparedness for companies that have me come in and figure out if you have an earthquake, how's everybody going to get out, where's everybody going to meet, safety plans, things like that.
Okay, that's I know a lot of NHRA drivers also have second jobs or even run their own companies.
Right.
There's Doug Coletta, another one running Coletta Air.
Well, exactly. That's a huge company, but it's when we really get on tour and we're going for 4 or 5, 6 weeks in a row, it kind of makes it hard to fit stuff in like that.
Yeah. So I know you're coming off the Vegas 4-Wide Nationals, and I know that you're going to the Southern Nationals, actually, which is going to be the final Southern Nationals at Atlanta Dragway. Best memories of that place as we enter in as we close the chapter.
Well, Atlanta, best memories I have of Atlanta is really the people, and I like the track. But it's in a unique place in Commerce, so I think it's about 80, 90 miles north of Atlanta. And it's just one of those tracks that you just like going to. And I always have a blast there. We have had a history of rain there, and I've had an explosion or two there myself. So the good with the bad comes along, but it is one of the few tracks, if I remember right at sundown, we have to do about a 20-minute stop because the sun comes right down the drag strip and you can't see. So I think that's one of the 2 tracks that we have a 20-minute window there that nobody can run because you can't see.
Yeah. So what's it like for people that don't know, or don't watch drag racing? What is it like to, run in a funny car? Is
I best way to explain it is to strap in a rocket to your bottom and get in it and you go real fast. I don't think there's anything like it on the planet. The acceleration that we make along with the top fuel guys, it's just incredible. Most people in their life have been 100 miles an hour. A few people have been 150 miles an hour. Very few people have probably been 2. When you get into the 300-mile-an-hour range, it's a small field of people that have been there. The difference between funny car and top fuel, obviously, I sit behind the engine, and it's a little bit harder to see. And they're an animal to drive. They want to take you wherever they want to take you, and you got to make sure you drive them and keep them in the groove and try to keep them straight. So for anybody out there that wants to drive a funny car, follow your dreams, because I did. And if I ever thought, 10 years ago, I'd be driving a professional nitro funny car, I would have laughed, and here I am.
I know you haven't gotten the results that you wanted this season, but what do you think you guys need to do to have a successful run next weekend in Atlanta?
Well, the same thing that we've actually been doing. Again, like we talked, we've switched fuel systems and clutch systems stuff, and you really got to test it out. And the only way to test that is to make runs. Well, we don't get 500 miles like other sports to make adjustments. We get 1,000 feet, and it either works or it doesn't. So I think the program that we're on right now and the brains that we have over there with Jim Dunn, the car is coming around, and this should be a consistent and competitive race car throughout the season.
Yeah. All right, Jim, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us, and good luck next weekend at the final Southern Nationals in Atlanta.
Casey, it's always a pleasure to be on your show. Tell your dad Jim or James, that's a great name. And listen, out for all your fans out there too, trying to build up my social media stuff. So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. And it's all Jim Campbell. That's JimCampbellFC.